Okay, everybody, I'm back. Did you miss me? I am your host. It's Jessica Koch. That's right. And this is Profound Professionals. It is the interview series that has been coming to you, OMG, 9 years. We get our Big 10 birthday next year, and we bring you industry experts from all over the globe, and they help you improve your personal life or grow your business. And Dr. Diane, she is the brilliant. She is the strategist CEOs bring in the room when they are out of moves. So if there's a checkmate on the board and they're wondering what to do, if you're kinging me on my checkers, then there's a problem. We need Dr. Diane. All right. Well, welcome.
Thank you so much, Jessica. It's great to be here.
All right. So tell us, how did you become the girl with all those extra moves up your sleeves, helping these CEOs figure it out and get it straight?
I became that girl by being the girl with no moves myself. I think one of the best ways to come into a purpose is to have it find you, and that's exactly what happened. I, like many people listening to this show, probably survived the recession in 2009. And when that happened, the whole game changed. I was an executive in the entertainment industry. I was working on little kids shows that you may or may not know, like Dragon Ball Z and Yu-Gi-Oh! And all of the like.
I know that.
Yeah, I was having a ball. I was having an absolute ball. And then the world turned upside down and unemployment was 14.5% in Los Angeles.
Yikes.
So the game had to change. And that's what happens when crisis strikes, is sometimes the crisis is really the catalyst for the opportunity. So my game changed. And I was in marketing at the time. Marketing was career one. This is career two. But I discovered that people were coming to me and they weren't ready to market. They were so reactionarily starting a business, or they were launching a product and they really hadn't done customer research, and all sorts of things had happened. And I had this pivotal moment actually with a client that we were soaring. We were absolutely soaring, and their brand was on point. Their beauty product, they were on the lips of Katy Perry at the Grammys. Like, it was amazing, absolutely amazing. And they said, "Could you help me with my business plan?" And I said, "Absolutely, I can. Absolutely, I can help you with the business plan." So I was helping the business plan. I was building that up. And I had relationships with investors. And so I introduced them to angel investors who were going to give them $1 million for 20% of their company. And they said no. They don't exist today.
Oh,
that company doesn't exist today. So that occurrence was a real game changer for me, and it planted a seed that began to grow, and that I wanted to be able to be there, to have that deep knowledge and education, to walk alongside these CEOs and help move them strategically to their next move. It isn't that they didn't need to take the funding. They did. They needed to take the funding badly, but they also were very tied. You know, I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase, "Everything I've ever tried to let go of has claw marks in it." But it's like that with some executives, and especially when the company is their baby. So yeah, that springboarded me, and eventually, over time, grew into a master's in communication management. And that's where I took a course called Organizational Change and Leadership and fell in love. Fell absolutely, deeply, darkly in love with organizational change and leadership. And I say darkly because I was laid off 4 months into my master's program. And I had to make a choice. And that choice, rather than to take unemployment, because they told me to quit my master's program so I could accept full-time employment, was to start my firm. And you and I have the same timeline, because I am also going on year 10 next year.
Oh, yay. Congratulations. So when a CEO looks at what they're doing, and thinks, okay, I need some support here, some guidance. Dr. Diane sounds like she might be the thing for me. What ways are you working with them? Is it a one-on-one for the CEOs, executives directly? Are you working with the teams? Are you working only with companies that have a certain number of employees or more? Give us a little more details on what their next steps are, how they find you, and how you're working with them.
I work with seasoned CEOs who
Mm.
have been in business at least 10 years and have at least crossed that 10 million threshold. That's very important because that's where things really start to fall apart. I call it an employee count. I call it the point of 30. If they're at the point of 30 and they don't have strategy and they don't have systems and processes in place, by 40, they're failing. They're failing by 40. So I want to stop that. And that usually happens around the 10 million mark. Sometimes it's pre that, but usually around there. And I've recently changed the way I work because I have been going deep on a deep level one-on-one, but I have this deep mission to serve 10,000 CEOs by next year. I'm like, well, how am I going to do that? And the only way I'm going to do that is to give it away. So I developed a masterclass, a complimentary masterclass to teach executives how to do that, how to transform. And it's 1 hour, 1 day a week, and you learn how to get there. And if you realize that, oh my gosh, I've been doing this alone all of my life, I really need a cohort like I had at USC when they, told me you got to quit. I said, no, I choose my cohort, not my unemployment. If you need a cohort to do that, I'm now doing cohorts. And in 1 week, you move from that problem situation all the way through understanding the problem into an action plan on day 5. So that's 1 week. We do it for a week. We do it for a quarter. We'll do it for a year. If you need it for a month, but you travel in groups of 10, just like my university cohorts when we did our breakout groups and we had these awesome synergistic groups. Ours was called the Avengers. And we had this mantra. We said, no doctor left behind. Well, no CEO left behind. And all of us ended up graduating. All of us end up walking, and it was unheard of at USC Rossier for a pod of people to do that. But I think that's what happens when you conquer the isolation epidemic. Is you win together.
Absolutely. So what's the way they can find this? What's their next step to find you and find this wonderful program?
Connect with me on LinkedIn. I love to meet on a personal level each and every person that goes into the cohort. But if you DM me cohort, I'll know it came from Jessica, and I can give you a special hello and special greeting when you join me in the cohort in the innovation masterclass.
I love that. That's awesome. It's so great that you're giving this resource as a gift to so many and have such a big goal. I love that. Can you give everybody a tip today, something they can apply and do right now?
Absolutely. I want you to evaluate your dynamic 9. So what's a dynamic 9? Your dynamic 9 is more than just having a board of directors. These are the people that lift you up, are the wind in your sails. Everyone needs to be at the same, this is important, the same revenue level as you are. Brokies create brokies. Richies create richies. This is how it works. This is the secret. Get yourself the right dynamic 9. Really look at the 9 people who have the most influence. And this is really who you talk to the most. Who do you talk to the most? And write those names down. And next to them, I want you to write up, down, neutral. If they're up, they're elevating you. They bring you into awareness, consciousness, and humility every day, no matter what you're going through. They lift you up. They're not there for the drama. They're not there for the show. They're there to lift you. There is a reciprocity in that friendship. There's a give and the take, and it's beautiful. And you are better because of this person. That neutral, you ever try to drive a car in neutral? You don't go anywhere. And with this friend, you may have had this person in your life for a really long time, and you talk to them every day and you do things out of habit. But when it comes to how you impact each other, it's neutral. It's milquetoast. Downshift, you really need to pay attention to, because these are the people who thrive on denial of problems, disavowal of situations. They're always too good to or not good enough to, and they trigger that in you. And next to it, I want you to write where they're playing. Now, this is important because it's the context of your dynamic 9. So if they're playing in the family circle, right, and their values are not along with yours, they might be a downshift. If you're in the executive realm and their revenue is 100K and you're aiming for 1 million, those conversations are going to be different. Those rooms are going to be different. So when you get into aligned cohorts, and you can do this yourself, or I can help you curate it, but if you do this for yourself, your life will change. I guarantee your life will change, your business will change, your attitude will change. Everything will change if you get your dynamic 9 in place. And don't try to change everything at once. Don't write down your dynamic 9 right now and then start making phone calls and ditching everybody. But good. You want to take one at a time. Sure. And you want to evaluate those. And you want to question those. And maybe you don't have to ditch people, but you evaluate, maybe I don't talk to this person about when I come home from, a day of grinding it out. Maybe this is not the conversation I have with this person. Maybe this person is just a fan of something I'm a fan of, and we like to go play pickleball together, and that's literally all we do. And that's how it takes me into an upswing, right? Sure. But know how that energy affects you. And then if business is your goal, do that for your business and make sure everyone is an upshift. It's so cool. A very good tip, the taking a look at where people are, especially those top 9 people that you engage with for business conversations or your life in general. Really good tip. How about a nonprofit cause you care about, something close to your heart? Well, I come from a family of entrepreneurs, and I come from being very young in my family. I'm the baby of my siblings. My brother's 14 years older than me, my middle sister 15, and my oldest 17. So Big Brothers Big Sisters is an organization I care a lot about. I have a little who is now not so little and has 2 babies of her own. And that organization does so much to lift kids up who wouldn't have the opportunity to be lifted up. My little came from some very dire circumstances. And as a result, she was able to connect with resources, with people, with me, with my people, and get something that she wouldn't have gotten otherwise. It's more than a big, just taking a kid out once a week for ice cream. It's so much more than that. It's so much deeper than that. And it forms this bond, whether a kid does it for a few months and not for a while, or they stay in contact with their big. It's such a beautiful organization. It is a national organization, and it's one that needs bigs desperately. Oh, that's so good. Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that. Our goal here is to inspire you to give time, treasure, or talent to the cause our guest shared with you, or just remembering that you have one that you love, spreading some awareness and just reminding us to do something bigger and greater than ourselves. So thank you for sharing that. How about a book that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business?
You know, this is an old book, but it was a leader that stood up and took an interest in me when I was a teenager.
Hmm.
Handed me a book called Lions Don't Need to Roar, because I was the kid that I really wasn't quite sure how to be heard or be seen or anything like that. So I would always come in really big. And I think some executives can do that, right? They can come in really big on things and like, this is going to get the point across. And this book just told me that presence is so powerful. And it was the first time that anybody had actually handed me a book and said, this is going to help you. And so he walked alongside me at that point. And I was 19 years old when I got handed that book. And I still remember that book. And I'm still grateful that I got that advice, that lions don't need to roar. But beyond the book, it was the fact that he handed it to me.
Yeah, that's a great, and it's lovely when you can get it so early. And sometimes it's hard. You walk a fine line with younger people, trying to introduce them to something to see, will they reject it? Will they open it? Will they take it? Are you pushing them away, or are you drawing them to? I hear great stories about young people who got some of the brilliant foundation books like The Win Friends and Influence People, and just some of the classics got handed to them very young. But it's a true testament to them if they pick it up and open it and crack it and do something with it. And no matter what age we are, I think that's an important thing. We have to pick it up and open it, crack it, and do something with it. Speaking of, you have a workbook that you take action and do something with. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, the workbook was created in that very master's program that I was encouraged to quit. So my method would not exist. Critical opportunity thinking method would not exist if I would have given in to that. And the workbook goes really kindly, really gently, step by step. Anybody can use it to identify the one critical challenge that they're going through, because sometimes challenges can stack up and it becomes really wickedly complex. So if you identify that one thing that is agitating the most pain, sometimes when you knock that over, and the workbook gives the exact method, the exact way you identify it, and you knock it over through strategic questioning, the exact way you can transform that problem, that one biggest problem, into the greatest opportunity. I'm a big believer in therapy. I love my therapist, because recently my therapist told me, I can't give you any advice that you're not giving yourself in your workbook right now. And she had me do it. And that's when I came under my latest mentorship as a result of what I started doing. So I got maybe 10 pages into the workbook before I took that big leap and just came down this pathway that ended up on your show today.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. And I'm so glad. It's been a lot of fun having you on the show today, and I hope you've had fun too.
Definitely.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. If you're out there watching thinking, wait, I've written workbooks, I've got programs, I've got books up my sleeve, I've got amazing things I can do. I can help someone improve their personal life or grow their business or do amazing things and be featured on Profound Professionals. Well, reach out to me and my team, and we will tell you just how to get yourself booked on our show. But before we go today, Dr. Diane, will you give us just one final thought, a piece of information or inspiration as we close?
Absolutely. I just lean into the fact that you don't know. And that's so freeing when you realize that you don't know. and you're willing to unlearn what you think you know, life gets really exciting because that opens the door to innovation. And when you start experimenting on the things that you think you know and testing, you will be amazed at what you learn.
Yeah, I love that idea of, really looking at life and your business with new eyes, with fresh eyes, with childlike eyes of wonder, and unlearn what you think you know, and take a look at it from a different angle. That's great advice. Thank you so much again for being on our show today, Dr. Diane. And thank all of you for being a part of our community, following and liking and sharing. We just adore you. I am your host, Jessica Koch, and this is Profound Professionals. And until the next one, be kind to yourself out there and be kind to each other. Bye, everybody.